What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is what we learned from USC 45, Michigan State 31. Our Trojans are 4-0 on the year. Now, this is where we all expected us to be, right? When everyone was doing their schedule projections, everyone had us beating Missouri State and Georgia Southern and Purdue and Michigan State. So in a lot of ways, the real schedule starts this week at Illinois. And as these games get tougher and tougher, we are able to take more information from these games. The lineups are getting more and more solidified each and every week. A lot of the positives get amplified and a lot of the negatives get amplified as well. There's a lot of common trends and we're really starting to find out who this team is. So we will get into it, but before we do, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I do want to shout out Underdog for sponsoring today's video. Underdog Fantasy is your one-stop shop for daily fantasy sports. It's a ton of fun to play. All that you have to do is go over there. You pick your players. You select higher or lower based on certain stat totals and projections. Like tonight, Padres are playing the Brewers. I have an anti-San Diego play for all you Dodger fans out there. I have Nick Pivetta to have fewer than 4.5 strikeouts. Fernando Tatis to have fewer than 1.5 hits, runs, and ribbies. Same thing with Manny Machado. And I do have Christian Yelich of the Brewers to have more than 1.5 hits, runs, and ribbies. And guys, when you're signing up with Underdog, make sure you use my code BLADE. All that you have to do is play $5 and you will get $50 in bonus funds. So head over there, support me, root against the Padres, and have a fun time playing with Underdog today. Really appreciate you guys being here. Now let's get into the video. All right, so what did we learn? Thing number one is the cornerbacks are lost. Now I'm going to lump Kamari Ramsey in with the corners because he is playing nickel, which is a cornerback position. And we are having a coverage breakdown at least once a game, usually multiple times. The whole obnoxious communication thing we hear from Coach Lynn appears to be non-existent. They're all very grabby and undisciplined, and we pretty much have no idea what we're doing in the back end. And what I will say, when it's all of them, when all of our corners are having the same sort of problems, at a certain point, it's not on them. Like, this is a defensive coaching staff that we've been praising the entire offseason as being elite. The secondary is not being coached at an elite level. I think we can all agree on that. Now, is it the most talented group in the world? No, it's not. So not saying that, but we have guys like Marcellus Williams, like Braylon Conley. Like, those are two very talented kids. And while they both had a lot of good plays in this game, particularly Conley, it's just not the level that we need him to be. Like, it's always something with this team. Like, we have Caleb Williams, we have the offense, but the defense sucks. Now on the defense, we have this insane pass rush. We have Eric Gentry, who's playing at an All-American level, but the secondary is just letting us down time and time again. I think it's fair to say now that DJ Harvey was a massive swing and miss in the transfer portal. He's not at the level to play on this team right now. When you look at the job Coach Henne and Coach Nua are doing with that front seven, and granted, a lot more assets have been invested into the front seven, a lot of money's on that defensive line, but we're not seeing the same sort of job applied to the back end at all. Having Kamari Ramsey not in his natural position is kind of a problem. You saw Suba Cravens talking about it on Twitter, and I agree with him. He's being a team player, but this is harming his draft stock long term. It absolutely is. We need Prophet Brown back, we need Alex Graham back, and we need Kamari Ramsey back at safety. If the secondary plays the same way they did against Michigan State against Illinois, we're going to give up a lot of points. I mean, we gave up 31 points, guys. Like, that's not a little amount. We have to get better on the back end. This defensive line is too good to waste it. Speaking of that defensive line, thing number two is that the pass rush is elite. Goodness gracious, we can get after the quarterback at an elite level. Braylon Shelby, Cameron Crawford, that's still going to take some getting used to. And just in case there's anyone out there that doesn't know, Cameron Fountain has changed his name to Cameron Crawford. But yeah, Shelby, Crawford, Anthony Lucas is playing at a very high level, and Jakeem Stewart, oh my goodness. This might be a bit of a jump, so if I'm being too optimistic, too over the top, please do let me know in the comment section. But my prediction right now is that Jakeem Stewart is going to be the best defensive lineman in college football next year. I don't think it's going to take him until he's a junior. I think next year he's going to make that jump. He's already showing us things that just don't make sense. Like, I talked about it in my instant reaction, talked about it on Twitter, talked about it on the podcast with Tim. Physically, he does Myles Garrett types of things. No, that's not me saying he is Myles Garrett, but he moves in ways that guys his size shouldn't be able to. His get-off is as elite as it comes in college football. I think he's going to make that jump next year. I think he's going to be the best defensive lineman in the country. And again, if that's too much, if that's too soon, please do let me know down below. Thing number three, we are our own worst enemy. We were up 21 points in the third quarter against Michigan State, and they were punting the ball. Somehow, that turned into us only having a 7-point lead. You give the other team an opportunity to push you into the punter. Tamir Robinson shouldn't have been anywhere near. He should have dove to get out of the way. He's a high-end athlete. You cannot make contact with the kicker. And then we just commit stupid penalty after stupid penalty. This is an extremely undisciplined team. I think we're like 130th, 129th in penalty yardage, or penalties amassed, I should say. It's really bad any way you look at it. At this point, I'm not as concerned with Illinois or Michigan or Notre Dame as I am concerned with ourselves. Running into the kicker on 4th down is a turnover. DJ Jordan fumbling is obviously a turnover. You can't turn the ball over. You can't commit terrible penalties. And guys, so far in the year, we've been one of the luckiest teams with turnover luck. That's going to flip at some point. At this point in the year, I believe we should have thrown 5 interceptions. We fumbled a couple of times but jumped on it. Like, we've gotten very, very lucky with the turnover luck. And when that runs out, we have to be playing cleaner football overall. We cannot be extending drives with penalties. And the one that I don't understand at all, and the one that keeps popping up, is the defensive hands to the face. Keyshawn Silver had a really bad one in this game, and I forget who it was. I think it was in the second quarter, but we had one that didn't get called that was pretty egregious. We have to stop doing that. The refs are calling it fairly. I mean, we get our hands up sometimes and they don't call it. It's when you keep them up there and you grab and you pull and you yank, that's when the flag is going to come out. And we keep doing it. Another thing I've noticed on this team, when there's a big penalty, we don't pull the guy out. Like, a lot of the times they just get to stay in the game. I'm personally not a fan of that. I like the accountability aspect. If you commit a dumb penalty, you're out of the game. I'm not saying for the remainder of the game or even the drive, but at least for a few plays. You got to send a message. That's where I'm at with it anyway. Now, thing number 4, Hansen over Henson. This offensive line is so much better coached this year than we have been in previous years. So Elijah Page goes out in the game, right? He's our best offensive lineman. I don't think it's relatively close. Elijah's the man. He's the alpha. He's that blindside left tackle. And Michigan State's a front that can get after it. They've got some dogs on the inside of that line. So when Elijah comes out, Justin Tuanuu goes over to left tackle. Micah Benuelo slides into left guard. O'Connor at center, Noah at right guard, and Tobias Raymond goes from guard to right tackle. Did any of you notice a difference in play really when Elijah Page went out? I specifically watched for stuff like that, so I noticed like a little bit of a drop off. But if you're just watching the game, you wouldn't have noticed a damn thing. This offensive line is so well coached. Zach Hansen is just a phenomenal offensive line coach. I know a lot of people were underwhelmed with that hire when we made that choice, and I'll put my hand up. I wasn't against it, but I was underwhelmed. I'll be completely honest. Coach Hansen has blown my expectations out of the water, and this group every single week seems so prepared, so professional, and able to withstand adversity, which they had in this game. Guys had to switch spots. That's not a comfortable place to be, moving from guard to tackle mid-game. I don't care how much you played both positions. So loved what we saw from them. Can it get better? Absolutely. And I do specifically want to shout out Alani Noah. You guys know how hard I've been on Alani the last few years. He's playing the best ball of his career. He looks way more in shape than he ever has been. Very proud of him, proud of his growth, and he's been playing some damn good football for us. And thing number 5, Mayava the point guard. Now, I said this on Twitter, and some people got offended by it, which I find to be pretty hilarious, to be honest. People will just find a way to be offended about anything. But when I call Jaden Mayava a point guard, that doesn't mean a game manager. They're not the same thing. What a point guard is a quarterback that is going to play within the confines of the offense, is going to distribute the ball accurately and on time, is going to run the play as the play was intended to be run, and is going to distribute the ball all over the field to all sorts of different guys. It's what Dylan Gabriel was at Oregon. It's what Mac Jones was at Alabama. It's what Matt Leinart was at USC. That's what a point guard is. And Jaden Mayava is doing that and then some. Why do you guys think the offense looks so silky smooth, so coherent, so on time, so effective? It's because with Jaden Mayava's full physical skill set, Lincoln Riley has the entire playbook opened, where he didn't with Miller Moss. Which, for the record, I get the comment in my comment section all the time, people saying that Miller Moss was my boy, and I didn't want him to get benched. I recommend all of you to go back and watch my Washington instant reaction video. See what I was saying then. Like I said in my looking ahead to 2025 video, I don't see a scenario where Miller Moss is your quarterback next year. We need to see what we have in Jaden Mayava. He needs to finish out the rest of this year. After a performance like this, you cannot send Miller Moss back out there again and expect to retain any credibility within the USC fan base. Or watch the video when Mayava got named the starter. Like, a lot of you have lazy takes that you just repeat from other content creators. Like, my content is out there for the whole world to see. Go back and listen to it, and then get back to me. It's really easy to check, guys. Don't be lazy. But having said that, Miller Moss was not able to run the entire scope of the Lincoln Riley playbook. That's completely clear now, right? So with Jaden, he not only has a guy that has all the physical tools, but he has a guy that, unlike Caleb Williams, is going to run the play as the play was intended. What Jaden Mayava is he's an extension of Lincoln Riley on the field. Lincoln calls the play, and Jaden's seeing the game the exact same way. He knows how the play is supposed to develop. He knows the trends and the motifs that Lincoln Riley is running and setting up throughout the entire game. He's in full command of this offense, and the only thing we haven't seen yet with Jaden, we have not seen a game where the offensive line is being leaky. We haven't seen how he's going to handle it when he has guys in his face over and over and over again, because I promise you it's going to happen with this schedule. I'm not sure if you guys caught any of the Michigan-Nebraska game, but they were getting home with 3 routinely. That defensive front is still nasty. Now, I do think that our offensive line is better than Nebraska, but still, the Michigan front 7 is not something to scoff at. And then you have Notre Dame. And then you have Nebraska, who's a very physical team. And then you have Iowa. And then you have Oregon. Like, we're going to get tested against some very good defensive fronts. So we're going to find out how he handles the pressure. That's the only thing that we haven't had verified so far this season. Because when he's kept clean, he is seeing everything so well, so easily, and he's running the offense exactly the way Lincoln Riley wants. Which, if you would have told me after that Texas A&M game that Jaden Mayava was going to be a cool, calm, and collected point guard of the Lincoln Riley offense, distributing the ball to all guys all over the field, I would not have believed you. So again, just like I said in the instant reaction, I don't take back anything I said from this offseason, where I very much doubted the decision to keep Jaden Mayava, to not go to the transfer portal. But the one thing I was wrong on is thinking that Jaden didn't have this in him. So for that, I admit I was fully wrong, and I couldn't be more happy to be wrong. This offense has been an absolute joy to watch. As fun and remarkable as Caleb Williams was, he's one of my all-time favorite players, without a doubt. I love seeing an offensive mind work, a really good one, and being able to see everything get set up in real time. Seeing the motions that happen, seeing those turn into reverses to Mekhi Lemon when they've been setting it up all game. I love that side of football. And yeah, I've just loved watching Jaden Mayava play this year. But guys, that was what we learned from USC 45, Michigan State 31. Make sure to let me know any thoughts you had about the game down below in the comments section. Always love to hear where you guys are with things. But yeah, if you did happen to enjoy the video or found it informative, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.